Cities Service proudly presents...
Highways of Melody, across America. Highways of Melody.
Tonight, Eddy Arnold, the Brothers Ford, Dolores Gray, Dorothy Kirsten, Connie Russell, the West Point Glee Club, Paul Laval and the City Service Orchestra, and your host for City Service Highways of Melody, Gordon MacRae.
Highways of Melody.
In the endless search for new reservoirs of oil for America, in drilling, in refining, in research for better petroleum products, in transportation by pipeline, tanker, rail, and road, in the finest of service for both you and your automobile, keep your eye on Cities Service.
Good evening. You know, this America of ours is a mighty big place, and it's full of wonderful words and songs. And like gold, the words and songs are where you find them. And we're going to find them along the highways of melody, because we're going to do some mighty tall traveling tonight on a trip that many of us have made in our automobiles from north to south. We'll be traveling thousands of miles from the rock-bound coast of Maine to the Mardi Gras state, Louisiana. You know, in New England, if you visit any of its 6 states, you'll see the countless landmarks of history like, well, Concord and Lexington, Bunker Hill, Plymouth, all here, down east, as they say. And there's lots of other wonderful things to see, too, like a sea-swept beach with its scrub pines and sand dunes, where young, happy people meet on an evening such as this. Smell that? No other smell like it in the world.
This was a real nice clam bake. We're mighty glad we came. The victuals we ate were good, you bet.
The company is the same.
Our hearts are warm, our bellies are full, and we are feeling fine. What a holiday!
This was a real nice clam bake, and we all had a real good time. Remember when we baked them red-hot lobsters out of a driftwood fire? They sizzled and crackled and sputtered a song, hidden for an angel's choir.
Written for an angel, written for an angel's choir.
Then at last came the clams. Steamed over rockweed and popping their shells.
Pop.
Just how many of them gets we couldn't say ourselves. This was a real nice clam bake,
And we all had a real good time. Oh, what a time!
nice clam bake, and we all had a real good time.
a tale that's near and dear to the hearts of those who sail. About a lighthouse keeper and his mermaid wife who joined together for a different life. Yo-ho, the winds and waters tell this tale. Tell the tale. My father was the keeper of the Eddystone Light. He married a mermaid one fine night. From this union there came three, a porpoise and a porgy, and the other was me. Yo-ho-ho, the wind blows free. Oh, for a life on the rolling sea. Late one night I was trimming the glim while singing a verse from the evening hymn. A voice from starboard shouted, ahoy! There was a mother sitting on a boy.
Don't be silly, a boy is a juvenile male.
No, a buoy, it guides the ships to sail. Oh, the wind blows free. Oh, for a life on the rolling sea. Tell me what has become of my children three. My mother, she did ask of me. One was exhibited as a talking fish. The other was served on a chafing dish. Yo-ho, the wind blows free. Oh, for a life on the rolling sea. Then the phosphorus flashed in her seaweed hair. I looked again and my mother wasn't there. A voice came echoing out of the night. Why the devil take the keeper of the Eddystone Light? Oh, the wind blows free. Oh, for a life on the rolling sea. Yo-ho, 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 yo-ho.
This was a real nice family. We're mighty glad we came.
You know, the harvest moon that shines on New England's highways leading to the sea is the same moon that shines on the highways of melody leading to the mountains, especially the Green Mountains of Vermont, where at any season of the year you can enjoy a very, very special brand of moonlight.
Valleys in a stream, falling leaves, a sycamore, moonlight. I see fingers, ski trails on a mountainside, snow lights in Vermont, telegraph cables that sing down the highway and echo each bend in the road. People who meet in this romantic setting are so hypnotized by the lovely evening summer breeze, warbling of a meadowlark, moonlight in Vermont, you and I, and moonlight in Vermont.
If you were to travel directly south from New England to New Orleans, you'd pass many colleges en route. The Band of America, conducted by Paul Laval, will play a special salute to some of them. By the way, if we forgot your alma mater this time, please forgive us, won't you? Drop us a line, let us know, and perhaps we'll catch up with you the very next time. To the colleges, maestro!
Rock, 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 rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, we take pleasure in presenting this evening the first of a new series of concerts by the Goldman Band, for which these facilities have been engaged by the City Service Company, a petroleum organization serving 3,000 cities.
How do you do? I'm Nelson Case. That was 8 p.m. Friday, February 18th, 1927. With those exact words, City Service made radio history. That occasion was the launching of a network radio program which was to continue for more than 2 decades. Here are some of the stars who appeared on the program of City Service over the years. And here's a copy of the script for that first broadcast with a footnote that's rather interesting. I quote, WEAF was offline for 3 minutes due to fuse blowing out at 8 to 8:03. Coming from the stage of Carnegie Hall in New York City, that first famous broadcast concluded at 8:59 with these words.
It is hoped that you will be listening again next Friday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, when City Service Company has arranged for Mr. Goldman and his band to broadcast another program.
It is in keeping with the tradition started that night more than 34 years ago that the City Service Company brings you on television and in color a full-hour program of the finest in American music. Like my radio counterpart of that long-ago evening in Carnegie Hall, may I, too, hope that tonight and in the months ahead, to quote my predecessor, you'll enjoy our new series, for which these facilities have been engaged by City's Service.
Well, sir, we've traveled about 400 miles through the state of New York from New England, so let's stop here for a while. Visit the island that Peter Minuit bought for $24. The island of Manhattan and good old New York City.
New York, New York, New York, my home.
It's autumn in New York, and that means the start of a new season at the world-famous Metropolitan Opera, Town Hall, and Carnegie Hall. And it means curtain time as the sounds of musical comedy fill the crisp fall air. Autumn in New York, why does it seem so inviting? It's autumn in New York, it spells the thrill of first nighting. Glittering crowds and shimmering crowds in canyons of steel, they're making me feel I'm home. Autumn in New York, that brings the promise of new love. Autumn in New York is often mingled with pain. Dreamers with empty hands may sigh for exotic lands. It's autumn in New York, it's good to live it again. Autumn in New
York, New York, New York, New York.
Long years have winged their weary flight since first I met thee, and though taken me. 'Tis what I ask of thee. 'Tis what I ask of thee.
Broadway rhythm, it's got me sing and dance. Broadway rhythm, it's got me sing and dance. Broadway, Broadway.
Come on along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway, the hip hooray and ballyhoo, the lullaby of Broadway. Good night, lady. Good night. Let's call it a day. Listen to the lullaby of old Broadway.
Sing and dance, rhythm chases her blues away. As long as there's music and melody, this lady's living in perfect harmony.
My days are sunny, with never a sigh. Don't need what money can buy. I'm chipper all the day, happy with my lot. How do I get that way? Well, honey, take a look at what I've got. One, I've got rhythm. Two, I've got music. And three, I've got my man. Who could ask for anything more? Not to mention four, I've got daisies where lying around in green pastures. But best of all, I've got my man. Who could ask for anything more? In case you're worrying and wondering, old man trouble, I don't mind you, which is the reason that you won't find him round my door. In conclusion, I've got starlight, T.S., and plenty of sweet, sweet dreams, but I still got rhythm. So who could ask for anything more?
She's got rhythm.
Fascinating rhythm, got me on the go. Fascinating rhythm, I wanna quiver. Fascinating rhythm, the neighbors wanna know why I'm always shaking just like a flivver. Oh, how I long to be the girl I used to be. Fascinating rhythm, fascinating rhythm, fascinating rhythm. Won't you stop picking up?
Oh, that Broadway rhythm.
Picking on me.
Oh, Broadway rhythm. Just as long as there's a steady beat, we'll sing this rhythm round the way.
as we leave the state line of New York, travel through the Garden State of New Jersey, there sits Pennsylvania, and there's quite a concentration of history here. The Liberty Bell, Independence Hall, and Gettysburg. And Pennsylvania has quite a concentration of good farmlands, too. To my way of thinking, there's nothing quite as relaxing after the harvest as sitting on a fence on a night like this. Oh, by the way, nobody ever sits on a fence alone.
I love more than the meadows so green and still, more than the mulberries on the hill, more than the buds on the mayapple tree. I love thee. Arms have I strong as the oak for this occasion. Lips have I to kiss thee too in friendly persuasion. Thee is mine, though I don't know many words of praise. Thee pleasures me in 100 ways. So put on your bonnet, your cape, and your glove, and come with me. For thee I love, and come with me. For thee I love. Oh, come with me. For thee I love.
You know, it wouldn't be too wrong to say that the highways of freedom in the hearts of people all over the world lead to our capital, Washington, D.C., where the shrines of freedom are everywhere you turn. The Washington Monument. And standing close by its side, the Jefferson Memorial. The Lincoln Memorial, a fitting tribute to Abraham Lincoln, who just a little over a century ago said, "Let us have faith that right makes might. And in that faith, let us to the end dare to do our duty as we understand it." Ladies and gentlemen, from the United States Military Academy, the West Point Cadet Glee Club.
America, America, God shed his grace on thee. Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the full, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Down, down we dive, starting a flame from under. Off on one hell of a course, we in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the Army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the Army goes rolling along. Then it's high, high, hey, the Army's on its way. Count off your cadence, loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the Army goes rolling along. Keep it rolling, that the Army goes rolling along, along. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood. From sea to shining sea, God shed His grace on thee.
One of the things I'd like to do during this hour is tell you a little about City Service, one of the 10 biggest oil companies in the country, who we are and what we do. We are explorers, men who probe the earth's forests, drill the deserts, scour the swamps of the world, puncture the floors of oceans, too, in an endless hunt for oil. We are riggers and drillers who burrow miles into the earth to bring crude oil gushing home. We are builders and operators of a vast cross-continental web of pipelines. We are sailors who ply the oceans to bring you fuel of the finest quality. We are railroaders. We are truckers. And we are scientists, chemists, analysts, engineers, forever seeking new and more efficient ways to make better and more efficient petroleum products. We are refiners, an army of men who, from a crude, unwieldy element of nature, make a myriad of things, such as asphalt for your highways, wax for packaging, fuel for diesel engines, and jet airplanes, oil to heat your home and gas to cook your food, lubricants for industry. And we are men whose constant concern is for the welfare of both you and your automobile, at work in 37 states and Canada to supply you with the finest in motor oil and lubricants. And the most exciting new name in automotive gasoline, the Big Gallon. This, rather sketchily, is City Service, a little of who we are and what we do. We're one thing more, however. We're investors, too, devoting our lives and our energies and resources to a growing industry in a growing America, for improvement, for advancement, for achievement now and in the future. Keep your eye on City Service.
Well, friends, we're moving south now on our highways of melody, through the mountains that stretch down through Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee, where you'll find a way of life that hasn't changed in generations. And you'll find songs sweet as wild honeysuckle.
Black, black, black is the color of my true love's hair. His face is something wondrous fair.
early morn kissed the golden corn. Oh, how green was my valley long ago. In the hush of eventide, walking side by side. Oh, how green was my valley long ago. Then the world was new, and each lane we wandered through seemed to whisper soft and low, she loves me so. Now when lilacs fill the air, I still see her there, as she waves to a lad I used to know. Oh, how green was my valley long
You hear that? Well, if you travel straight south from here, you'd be right plumb in the middle of it. And if ever there ever was a singing city, it certainly is Nashville, Tennessee. Home of the very finest in country and western music in all of America.
I like mountain music, good old mountain music, played by a real hillbilly. Swing your partner, do-si-do.
Now, folks, here on our stage tonight, the pride and joy of Nashville, Eddy Arnold.
Anytime you're feeling lonely, anytime you're feeling blue, anytime you feel downhearted, that will prove your love for me is true. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll think of you. Anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home to you. Anytime will be the right time. Anytime, that all will do. Anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home to you.
Oh, do tell. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'd like to sing you one of my very favorite songs.
How many arms have held you and hated to let you go? How many, I wonder, but I really don't want to know. So always make me wonder, always make me guess, and even if I ask you, darling, don't confess. Just let it remain your secret. But darling, I love you so. No wonder, I wonder, though I really don't want to know. And now a song that I know you all know. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray.
You'll never know, dear, how much I love you.
Please don't take
my sunshine away.
You hear a lot, you see a lot these days about the city service Big Gallon. It's the fuel we call the year's most exciting new name in automotive gasoline. Now, just what is the Big Gallon? Is it any bigger than any other gallon of gasoline? Of course not. It's the same size, the same weight, the same number of fluid ounces. We call it the Big Gallon because big things go into it. Research, for instance. Gasoline today is no simple liquid, but an intricate, complex blend of literally scores of ingredients, each of which has a special function in powering your car's engine. In fact, no gasoline today has more performance boosters than the city's service Big Gallon. That's another thing about this gasoline that's big. The big things you get out of it. Big mileage, big power, big performance under every driving condition. You get the Big Gallon. Enjoy the Big Gallon. It does the most a gasoline can do to help you get the most out of motoring.
Well, we've traveled 1,000 miles since we started the journey on our highways of melody, and now we reach the South, the Carolinas, Georgia, Alabama. And you know, these names suggest a special Southern hospitality you'd find in the smallest house by the side of the road, or you'd find warmly wrapped in the memories of the days of gentle living in a stately old plantation, which will never, never fade.
way down upon the Swanee River.
The sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the folks are so gay. The corn tops ripe and the meadows all in bloom, while the birds make music all the day.
Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for the old Kentucky home. For the old Kentucky home. Far away.
Well, if you like to dig into history, there's a bonanza right here in the South. At Bull Run, fearless Stonewall Jackson won his nickname in a hail of fire. The mighty fortress of Vicksburg overlooks that old man river, the old Mississippi. And if you travel down the Mississippi far enough, you might hear something like this. Well, what else is there to say except welcome to New Orleans?
New Orleans! Welcome to New Orleans!
Mango, papaya, chestnuts from the fire in my house of straw at the Mardi Gras. Pie from the pigeon I fix in the kitchen. Each bite is delight for your appetite. And if you like the way I look, and if you like the way I cook, just throw away that tourist book, and you'll find mango and papaya, anything your heart desires. Mangoes, papaya, chestnuts from the fire. You'll want to stay here and play here, 'cause every night in Fiesta in Louisiana, away down yonder in New Orleans, mangoes, papaya, mango and papaya, mango and papaya, mango and looking for a different tune, one that they can croon as only they can. They only had the rhythm, so they started swaying to and fro. They didn't know which one to choose. That is how the blues really began. The birds in the trees singing weird melodies, and they call that the start of the blues. And from a jam to the blue.
Cakewalk your lady, two-step your baby. Cakewalk your lady, left and right. Trombone is talking, best get to walking. Don't you miss the boat. Lift your petticoat and find a fella at the cakewalk tonight.
It's Mardi Gras. Fiesta time is here.
And if you want to start living, you gotta start giving with good old Southern cheer. Oh, cakewalk your lady, two-step your baby. Cakewalk your lady, left and right. Dress up your proudest, sing out your loudest. Grab yourself a doll, have yourself a ball.
Cinderella's found her fella.
Tonight at the Mardi Gras.
Do you hear the beat away down the street?
Yeah, I hear the neat little rhythm of the half-beat dancing feet.
Hey, boys, that band is grand. Everybody in the land's on hand.
They demand that brand of dandy, Andy Dixieland.
The way they play makes everybody want to stay all day.
Hush my mouth, it's the South Rampart Street Parade.
I hear the trombone, that shiny trombone. Everybody playing mighty fine as they march along.
I never get enough of that Creole song.
Here now, it's loud and clear now. I really get a thrill, I know I always will, whenever I can hear the rhythm of a band. Yeah.
Way down yonder in the canebrake, you can't hear the music they make, ringing out until the day breaks. The South Rampart Street Parade.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be back in just a minute.
About 200 miles west of New Orleans is one of the world's most modern industrial assemblies. It's the city service Lake Charles Refinery. Let me tell you a few things about it. From here, during World War II, came one of this nation's largest supplies of high-octane aviation gasoline. Today, it's a major supplier of jet fuel for the armed forces and the airlines, too. Modern petroleum processing requires modern methods. Intricate master controls daily record and direct the conversion of more than 150,000 barrels of crude oil into quality petroleum products. Vast and up-to-date as it is, the gigantic Lake Charles refinery is constantly being expanded and modernized to make possible even greater production and consistently better products, too. Now, a good example of this is what I told you a little while ago about the Big Gallon, the automotive gasoline that contains the newest performance boosters known to petroleum science. For the finest in facilities, for the finest in service, for the finest in petroleum products of all kinds. Keep your eye on city service.
For city service, good night.
Remember, in the endless search for new reservoirs of oil for America, in drilling, in refining, in research for better petroleum products, in transportation by pipeline, tanker, rail, and road, in the finest of service for both you and your automobile, keep your eye on City's service.